Prime rib, smoke versus open fire. Who's gonna win? Tácate! Today we're gonna start a new series that is gonna be smoked versus open fire. And for the first recipe, we have a whole prime rib. What are the things we're gonna evaluate? We're gonna evaluate texture, flavor, crust, tenderness, and also, and most important, how we enjoy the cooking process. While we cook, it's not always about the food, it's about the process. We keep saying that because when you smoke and when you do open fire, the process is enjoyable. Both ways are enjoyable, but we're gonna put everything into consideration and we're gonna decide which one is better. If one is better than the other one, we never know. But let's start prepping our prime rib. Vamos. Okay, here we have a very beautiful choice prime rib. It's not prime beef. We don't have to always go prime. This is a very decent price. It was under $200. It's a whole ribeye roast. It has a decent fat cap and pretty good marbling here. See how this part is kind of cut that way? So we're gonna try to make it even here so you can see what are we talking about. See, that's the part of the chuck and this is the part of the New York strip. See how the rib cut started like here in this part is bigger and then it started like getting smaller until it becomes the New York strip. Like I said, see, decent marbling on the eye and also on the cap. See, it's pretty decent. Again, we don't always have to be or do prime. Okay, we presented the cut. Now we're gonna cut it in half and one half we're gonna use it for open fire. The other half we're gonna use it for smoking. Well, you can see it better, right? Pretty decent marbling on the eye. The eye in Argentina, I don't know other countries, but we call it that's the eyebrow. Eyebrow, is esto? Now that we have both, we're gonna start prepping and season the one that we're gonna smoke. Okay, here we're gonna trim fat, but only when we touch and we feel it's hard and we have too much. See here, that's the only thing that we're gonna do. We're gonna trim a little bit, not all. And remember, when you smoke, it's gonna render, but not that much. This is not a trimming knife, but it's gonna work. This part I don't care too much because we're not gonna eat it at the end. You can see here, see how much it has, okay? Doesn't matter if I trim it or not. It's gonna stay there, right? We're not gonna eat it at the end. That's as far as we're gonna go. And next, we're gonna tie it because we don't want that in the smoker, you know, it gets all fluffy. I'm gonna do my classic tie. I know, I'm not a butcher, don't judge. Remember, we're not butchers, we're not professionally trained chefs, but we are effective. See, now we have it tied, nice and beautiful. Now let's talk about seasoning. And we're gonna try, just to be fair for the competition, we're gonna use the same flavors, not quite the same seasoning, and you're gonna see how. For the binder, I'm gonna use my Melinda's Honey Master Habanero. It has I really like this seasoning, I really like this sauce. As a binder, it's gonna add some kick to help build that crust. We're gonna use my Texas salt and pepper. It's coarse, and again, this is a big piece of meat, and then we're gonna slice it like this. Don't be afraid. Now, the secret weapon. Like I always said, with meat, you need fresh herbs. For the herby flavor that every prime rib needs, we're gonna use my chimichurri mix. It's low in sodium, that's why I don't put just the chimi, because it's very low sodium. It has salt, but not too much, right? The one for smoking is ready. Now we're gonna start with the open fire one. Same deal, we're gonna tie it. That's gonna be the exact same process. We're gonna tie it. We're gonna try to make it as compact as we can. This one, we're gonna cook it traditional Argentinian style, traditional grill, slow open fire cook in the Argentinian grill. So we're not gonna hang it like we normally do. This is gonna be on the grill to make it a little less time. Okay, like I said, to be fair, we have to season it the same way with only one taint. We're gonna use the Melinda's Habanero Honey Mustard for a binder. It's gonna give flavor, it's gonna give spiciness, and it's gonna help the seasoning to stick, okay? And this is gonna be the only change we're gonna use, okay? So instead of putting salt and pepper and chimi, we're gonna only put salt and pepper. Why? Why we do that? Because when we cook open fire, the heat is more aggressive on the meat. Probably what is gonna happen is gonna burn this seasoning. If we apply it dry like this, it's gonna add like a bitter flavor. We're gonna only use my salt and pepper. Remember, my seasonings are specially made for open fire because they are coarse, they're never gonna burn, but you can use it anything. If you smoke inside your kitchen, anything. Let's go ahead and apply a healthy thick layer of salt and pepper. So I'm not gonna put a lot in the fat side, and I'm gonna explain why later. Okay guys, let's talk about grills. Both prime ribs are ready. Smoke, open fire. Let's start talking about how we're gonna cook them, okay? For our traditional barbecue, we have here our offset, the solution from Mad Scientist. We're gonna set it up 250, between 250 and 275. We are burning post oak. I think the grill is in temperature, so let's put meat on. Boom. Okay guys, I'm gonna put it with the rack. I'm thinking here, I'm gonna put it here. So that, remember that thick fat cap that we have? We're gonna point it towards the firebox, right? So he gets the most heat there. I'm thinking here, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, probably. We're gonna temp it. We're gonna pull it out when it's 120 internal. Actually, you know what? We have that old thermometer, right? I think we have an old thermometer that we can stick it right now. Remember, we're not very good at smoking and using thermometers. Like I said, we're gonna take it to 115, 120. We're gonna pull it out and we're gonna try to, that carry over temperature, take it to 125. That's how we like it. It's a medium rare. So now it's a waiting game. We have to maintain the temperature. The wind is blowing very fast. We had learned before that the wind also affects when we smoke. So now, easy, maintain that temperature. We have Angelito keeping an eye on this, and let's move to the open fire grill. Vamos. Okay guys, for the open fire, we're gonna use our Tagwood SSO3. This is the traditional Argentinian grill. What is an Argentinian grill? It's a Santa Maria with a firebox in the side. Started the fire 30 minutes ago, and check this out. We have a healthy, nice bed of embers already done. Like I always said, when we cook Argentinian style, we cook with ember. Now we're gonna push it below here and we're gonna start cooking this way. But I'm gonna show you how, okay? Vamos, Ben, check this out. Poke and shovel. That's what I love these grills, right? They have everything. A poke and shovel, the Santa Maria system. That goes up and down, all stainless steel and all covered with fire bricks. What are the fire bricks gonna do? They're gonna help to maintain that temperature, right? The heat is gonna bounce and go back again. Instead of all the calories, you know, spread out all the time. Oh, look at who's there. The garbage guy. We need to, okay, you need to meet this guy. Come on with me. What's up, boss? You're gonna be in YouTube. You're gonna stop doing good? Yeah. Hey, look, check this out. Look at this guy. We call it the Viking. Look at the size of this guy.
Thor,
hey,
right?
Thor. You doing good, man?
Oh yeah.
That's it. We're still good with seasonings and everything?
Oh dude, I've got so much that I don't know what to do with them.
This guy, supposedly it's 8 bags, right? 8 bags every time?
Yeah, I think so.
Supposedly it's eight bags every week. Normally have like 20 to 30 bags. So these guys always take care of us. So anytime we can, we take care of him. So the other day I give him a box of seasonings and I want to give him again. And he's like, no, dude, fuck, I already have a lot. All right, back to the video. Sorry about that. So we were talking about the Argentinian grill. We have the fire bricks. We have the Santa Maria. Now is a question that everybody asks, how you control the heat, how you maintain the heat with that temperature, you know, with this system or with this grill. Today, if you can see, it's a lot of wind here. So how you control the heat with your thermometer, the alfrugoni thermometer. Let's start spreading the coals here and I show you better. So now we have a nice bed of coals, and this is how you control your temperature. You put your hand here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a little hot for me, but it has to do with the wind. When you've had a wind, it's gonna make your fire hotter. The two ways to control the heat in this type of cooking is, one is adding more or less coals. The other one is putting this up or down. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I like it. If you have to, basically what you have to do is, if you have to pull your hand out before 7 seconds, that means that it's too high. Again, what happens if it's too high? You can spread the coals more, or you can lift this up. But remember, this is the first batch of coals we put. The whole grill was, all the bricks, everything was cold. So the first batch is gonna go fast. You know, it's gonna warm up all the bricks, all the grills. You know, we have a big wind. So probably in 15 minutes, we need to add more coal. That said, that's why, look, check this out. See, I'm running off embers here. And remember, to build those embers, it's gonna take us at least 20 to 30 minutes. So what I need to do now, feed more coals or firewood to this fire. That said, we're gonna use a mix of embers and firewood. A lot of people ask me, what's the difference between charcoal or firewood, or why you use charcoal or why you use firewood? First, I have to tell you, always use lamp for this style of cooking, because you can use briquettes. Why? Because the briquettes, once it's done, and if you're gonna move it, it's gonna turn into ashes. It's gonna, you know, break down. So lamp charcoal is gonna stay the same. We want the charcoal to fall down, and then we push it. If you do that with briquettes, it's not gonna work. So lamp charcoal versus firewood. I personally like to use both, because both, they have an advantage. That is, like, for example, the lamp charcoal, the advantage is like the the ember of the lamb charcoal is gonna be bigger, it's gonna be more resistant, and it's gonna last longer. Firewood, in this case, the oak is a semi-hardwood. It's gonna build a nice ember, but it's gonna be smaller and it's gonna last too long. It's gonna turn off faster. But the firewood, what adds a lot of flavor because it's more flavorful than lamb charcoal. So when you mix both, you have the best of both worlds, right? You have the resistance, the power of a lamp, but also you have the flavor of a nice firewood. That said, we're building our fire here, the new fire. Check again, 7 seconds. Grill is ready. Now let's put the meat. Vamos. Time to cook. Extremely important, guys, because I see online a lot of people that don't do this, and this is a must, okay? Always first in the fat side. Always. Why? Because when you cook this style, the heat only comes from one side, under it. How are you gonna reach the center of this cut without drying out the first layer? This is an aggressive heat. You need that fat to protect your meat from drying out. That's the only way that you can reach the middle or the center without overcooking the first layer, right? That's why you always need the fat, you need the bone, you need the membrane. Remember, open fire has different principles than smoking. That's why you need to play and cook what you have. That's why we never trim, we never peel the membrane, and we leave the bones and everything. Everything is gonna help the cooking process, and it's gonna taste better because fat is flavor. See, look how flavorful I am. So we have fat side first. Remember that thick cut towards the firebox is always hotter. So this makes sense to put it this way, right? Music to my ear. And remember, I said this before, when you cook open fire, you cook with all your senses. The feel, right? The feel is so important, you know? You have to listen, you know? I like that seasoning, right? I like that. If it's too much, I would worry about it. Of course, you have to see what is happening. You have to see your grill. Touch. This is very important. Touch. So now you start feeling it here. I just put it. If I touch it here, I can feel that it's still a little cold from the refrigerator. So that's gonna start shrinking. That's gonna start like feeling warm. And then we're gonna explain later, when do you know that it's time to flip. Dale. For now, we're gonna keep this fire going. We're gonna keep feeding the firebox. We're gonna keep adding coals. In 10-20 minutes, this is gonna be, you know, like 10-12 seconds. That means I need to add more. So from now on, my job is to maintain these conditions that we set up. We thought about the strategy. We set up the strategy. Now it's time to maintain what we did. And like I always said, patience. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the process, baby. Dale, vamos. Now, waiting game, just control the grills. Now it's too early for a beer, but maybe let's drink a mate. Dale, vamos. What does that mean? Ben, talk to me, dude. You know about smoking. What does that mean?
Try to put the thermometer in.
Okay, 3. Okay. Now we're on. There's a lot of dirty smoke here, baby. 68, see? It's refrigerator cold. Look at us, dude. Look at us. Did you see that? Okay, guys, listen. I asked you for this in another video, but if you have some recommendation or what, I don't know if this is good. It doesn't look good, but or good quality. If you have some recommendations about thermometer, I read you in the comments, okay? Give me some recommendations. Thermometros. Vamos. Vamos! Oh shit. Yeah, if this happened, don't get crazy, okay? This is the way that you turn it off. So never desperate. Okay, guys, 1.5 hours check-in. Check this out. Our smoke roast is in 94. I don't wanna open the door. I don't like to do that. We're between 250 to 300. That's exactly where we want it. Let's take the open fire one. Do we have that thermometer? Yeah, we need good stuff. I don't know. So see, 84 is the temperature here in Texas. Check this out. 73, 93. So this is way behind. So I think that we can do to speed it up is to put a cover here, to put a lid. So because we have a lot of wind, that's affecting this cook. But we can do a lid here, but we're not gonna do it because we are doing a versus, right? We're doing a competition. So part of the competition is how long it cooks, how enjoyable is the cook, and how you have to deal with external factors. So we are not gonna put a lid. We're gonna keep cooking it. This is behind. We added like 2 times more coals here. We're gonna add 1 more time. Again, check this out. See that? We're burning coals like crazy here. So we're gonna add for the 3rd time, we're gonna add more coals. And this is extremely important, guys. Put putting more coals or more heat doesn't speed up the cook. Forget about that. People said, okay, if it's too low, why you don't put more fire? No, if you put more fire, what you're gonna do is gonna overcook the first layer and the inside is gonna be raw. Not necessarily more fire means a faster cook. Maybe in a steak, yes, but not when you're doing a slow cook like this one. Think about it. What you have to do is from the bottom, you have to reach the inside. Basically, the first layer has to cook the second layer, the third layer, fourth layer, go, 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 go. If you overcook the first layer, you create like a seal and the heat stop penetrating. I see that a lot online when they cook whole animals, that the thing is black in the outside and the inside is still raw. No, it doesn't matter. They cook it for 8-9 hours. Okay, I like it. 1, 2, 3. See, I exaggerated a little bit and now easy fix, guys. Remember? I like it better now, okay? Then we're gonna drop it, like in 10 minutes, we're gonna drop it a little bit, okay? Vamos, Angelito, you keep an eye on that one. Let's keep cooking, okay? Oh! Again? Really? Die! Die! Jesus! Oh shit! This is getting crazy, guys. This is getting crazy. Angelito, let's take it to the host. Yeah, welcome to open fire, baby. You want some? You want some? The only reason I don't wet you all over because you have an expensive camera in your hands. All right? All right, troubleshooting. See, the fat drop into the ashes and they start a fire. So this is how you solve it. You push it all the way. You don't try to blow it. You don't try to put it down because what you're gonna do is like make it more bigger. Whenever that happens, you scoop it, throw it out. 2 hours and 10 minutes, and we're going fast here. We're in 114. We're gonna pull it out with 120. But this one here, look, so it's already at 100. So we're gonna flip it, okay? And then if I touch it here, I can feel a little warm. We're gonna keep that fatty. Remember that fatty part? That side, okay? See what I mean about the seasoning? We didn't put any seasoning, but still, see? Flare that we had before, that's black there, but inside is perfect, you'll see. So flip it, I'm thinking now 1 hour at max, and now is when we have to keep it super slow, right? So we don't wanna overcook anything. So I'm thinking 1 more hour, and we're good to go. Dale, vamos. Vamos. Now we're gonna make the crown technique. The crown technique is called la corona. I put all fire around it, nothing below. So we cannot create a convection heat that is not gonna happen because of this wind. The wind is not helping today. So far it has been a very complicated cook this. Let's go, vamos. I like that, vamos. 3 hours in and something crazy happens that I can't explain it. So let's see what happened and then we talk about it, okay? Check this out, man. Remember this was like 15, 20 degrees behind the other one? That's right in the middle, 123. Check this out, come here. Look at that. This one stalled out, that one speed up. So now we are 3 hours in, the same temperature. So I don't know why, maybe if you're an expert on smoking, you can explain that. Maybe we can talk my friend Jeremy Yoder, the mad scientist. Probably he can explain what just happened here. But we are 3 hours in, they're almost done. I'm gonna pull both out. We're gonna put it on a dry cooler and then we're gonna rest it for 15 to 20 minutes and then we're gonna slice it. But again, comment below what just happened. What happened? Or tag Jeremy, mad scientist. Vamos. Check out the bark before we wrap it. It's 126 internal. This is a smoke one. We're gonna remember. We're gonna wrap it in butcher paper and we're gonna rest it on a dry cooler. Both are 126. Exact temperature, see? Look at this. Can I do this? I have to. Oh yeah. Dry cooler for 20 minutes. Vamos. Ready? Vamos! Vamos! 20 minutes rest. And now the moment of the truth, everybody. All right, ready? We said at the beginning of the video that we're gonna evaluate texture. That's when we eat it. Crust / bark, that's the looks that it has. Then we're gonna do flavor, that's mainly the seasoning. Tenderness, that's obviously what it is. And then evaluate the cooking process, which one is more enjoyable. So that said, I have to give the first point to the smoked one on the looks, on the crust, on the bark. This looks way better than this one, right? And another thing that I'm very surprised, I don't know if you can tell, this is slightly bigger. I think another thing, when I was wrapping, did you see all the liquids that this one, when it was resting loose, and this one didn't have a lot of liquid. So my guess is that this one shrank more and lost more liquids during the cooking process. And another thing, if I touch it like this, in my experience, I think this is more firm. Again, in my experience, that means that this is gonna be more on the medium rare side, and this one is gonna more like on the medium rare, but who knows? And we're gonna get ready for the big moment, baby. The big moment. Everybody ready? Right in the middle, okay? That's where we were temping. Oh, dude. Okay, that looks close to perfection here, guys. See? This one is the only part that it looks like a little overcooked, but it looks pretty good to me. See that part here? Remember? Now we can take it off. All this part was protecting this part of the beef. And check this out, guys. This is the fat side, remember? All the fat cap that we had. See how we did it? And we cook it like 60% of the total time, maybe 65, 70% of the total time. We cook it on this side, and check this out. We didn't overcook it. That's why it's so important to keep the fat. First reveal done. Now let's go to the smoke one. Ready? Everybody's ready. Oh, this cut I can already say. Oh, okay, guys, we have to be fair. This side has more ribeye cap, but still, check this out, guys. This is perfection right here. This is perfection right here. So check this out. Again, the fat added flavor here. So to confirm, first point that we give them in appearance, looks, because of the bark, because how it cooked overall. Point for smoking, okay? Remember, point. Now, the moment of the truth. Let's evaluate everything else. See how high this is compared with this, right? Can you tell? Oh my God. Okay, guys, we're gonna cut one slice of each, and then we're gonna try it. Okay, I can tell right now, because of the size, I can tell this one lost way more juices than this one. To be fair, we're gonna eat a little bit of the ribeye cap, a little bit of fat. Okay, smoked with the fat and everything. Oh my God. Wow. Let me try this one before I say the other. Oh. Okay, guys, I think that wasn't a fair evaluation because this ribeye cap is bigger, so let's try the eye. I have my review, my final review. Okay, second one, let's do cooking process. Maybe I'm biased on that, but I really like to cook open fire, even in a day like this that is windy and difficult. I really enjoy the fact that you're watching your meat while it's cooking. I think that's priceless. I think nothing beats that. So I would say cooking process, definitely open fire. That's 1-1. Texture, all right? Texture, I have to give 1 point. To smoke, the smoking process creates that bark that adds a lot to the texture. So texture, point for smoked, right? Now let's talk about tenderness. Tenderness, and this surprises me, I have to say open fire. It's more like a marshmallow kind of meat. When you cook it for 3 hours and you cook it slow, open fire, it was more tender. Even it looks smaller. It looks like it lost more juices. Tenderness, I think, is a clear winner here. And what we have left, flavor. Overall flavor, I have to say, drums, smoked. Yes, smoked. I'm an open fire guy, but I have to be fair with this. The flavor on this is outstanding. When you smoke, I can say you respect more the flavors that you add, all those layers that we put on top. When you do open fire, you cannot burn everything, and again, it's more aggressive. Here I could taste the pepper, the salt, the chimi. I could even taste the mustard, honey, the habanero, and I felt something spicy. And then if you mix it with the strong smoke flavor and the beefiness of the meat, oh my God, man. So both are extremely delicious. I'm gonna stop talking because people around here are gonna kill me, they wanna eat. This was smoke versus open fire. If you like it, comment below. We appreciate your comment. We wanna hear more about you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you try this at home. Vamos, Alfrugoni out. Let's go, baby!